Hello YouTube. I'm going to do another review of these BIC speakers, BIC America speakers. First, I want to mention this. I got a new mouse to replace that shitty one that I had earlier. This is not a marathon mouse, but it is a Logitech mouse, and it claims it can last 2 years on the Duracell batteries that are in here, so if I put quantum batteries, it'll probably last as long as a marathon mouse, so that's a good mouse. Just wanted to point that out. Now, before anyone screams and yells at me about my speaker setup, I know it's wrong. I know these towers are too close together. I know these shouldn't be in the front and they should be in the back, but you know, I'm not the only one who lives here, and we gotta make compromises. So, yeah, it's kind of crooked. Drives me crazy. It still sounds really good. It's just not really surround sound anymore. It's just glorified stereo now. So here we go. I'm still rocking this shitty energy speaker. It's doing okay though. It's kind of like coming apart. If I can get a good angle on it. The front usually just comes right off of this thing. I tried putting some like spacers. Well, I didn't actually use spacers. I used some old glue, some speaker glue, to hold it in there because it used to fall right off, and it's still pretty damn loose, but looks like it's doing the trick. That's what happens when you buy energy. You know, they're good, but they're also bad at the same time. So here are my BIC America dv64s, venturi dv64s, whatever. So I did these covers right here. Off. There we go. These are the original covers that came with it. I took all the fabric off of them because I like to run my speakers naked, and these speakers just don't really look all that nice like this because there's so many damn holes. So I really was taking a chance doing this, but I think it was for the best. So yeah. I'm sure everybody knows what these are. These are the Dayton 652s. Is that what it is? I know it's those numbers. I don't know what order they go in. Yeah, 652s. That's what they're called. The B. Yeah. The B652s. Yep, that's right. And they're pretty good. You know, they're cheap, but they're also good. You'll notice I did the same thing with these that I did with these. Didn't eliminate the f***ing holes though. So that was kind of pointless. And I also had to color them differently because the cover is basically a piece of cardboard. And it was gray, so yeah. I got my new receiver quite a while ago, actually. I probably should have waited until I got this to do the review of these speakers the first time. So I got a new receiver, and it's pretty decent. I did a review on it. If you will click here, then I will show you said review. Okay. It's too quiet in here. It sucks. So these are 3/4 inch soft dome tweeters, ferrofluid cooled. Yeah. They sound kind of staticky sometimes, but I think that's just, you know, from compression, from like MP3 or whatever comes in through TV or Netflix or whatever. Sometimes it's audible, sometimes it's not, but I don't think it's the speakers, I just think it's all of the goddamn compression. So, yeah. Venturi. And let me tell you something, these tweeters, I was a little iffy about them because I thought, oh, I don't know, 3/4 inch soft dome tweeter, it's gonna be kind of, I don't know, not loud, but I was wrong. These tweeters can f***ing scream. I mean, they scream. They are so loud. I actually, in order to make these things sound normal so it wasn't ear piercing, but I mean, keep in mind, I'm still pretty young and my ears can still hear pretty, you know, high frequencies, so it might just be because of my age. Some of you older people out there might not notice it, but I cranked the bass up all the way on this receiver and left the treble at flat, and everything sounds pretty normal. The reason I had to crank the bass all the way up is because I don't know why, but it won't let me change the crossover of these speakers. Like, it gives the option on the receiver, but for some reason it's grayed out. I don't know why. It's probably the way I have it set up right or whatever. But I think in bass quality, these would be very, very good speakers to buy. In fact, the best, because you've got, these are, at the top, they're set up like most tower speakers. You got 2 drivers, and then you've also got a tweeter. These are mid-range and bass drivers, by the way. But these down here, these 2 speakers down here actually aren't drivers. They are passive radiators, and I was surprised because they don't feel kind of like passive radiators. They feel like actual drivers, but they are passive radiators. And for those of you who don't know, this whole box is sealed. So the air movement can travel up and down the box when these 2 drivers up here move. Now that pressure forces these to move, so these essentially act as bass drivers as well. And I personally believe that is the best way to get bass, because if you have ported enclosures like this, sorry, I know you probably can't see that. There's a port, like right there though, I'm sure you guys can see. But if you have ported enclosures like that, and then you turn it up too loud, you get like a sound, kind of like a chuffing sound. That's what it sounds like. Chuff, 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 chuff. Like you can, because it's so much, like, the way it works is, this is causing pressure in this box, which pulls air in and out of this port, which is what helps generate the sound. Now, when large amounts of air are going in and out of that port at a higher frequency, like, I've got this tuned to a max of 100 hertz, and these are 120, so there are 20 hertz frequency missing, but it's barely noticeable. Anyways, so I've got this tuned from 1 to 100 hertz, and this thing can actually go pretty deep. It's like, it can go down to like 15 hertz, which is pretty good for a 100 watt 10 inch. Anyways, I'm rambling. When large amounts of air are going in and out of this, and it's too small to accommodate for all of that air, then it makes a chuffing sound. And it kind of kills your bass. But it's not a big deal. It only happens occasionally. I rarely get a chuffing sound. That thing can hit some pretty deep frequencies. The chuffing is only really when you got a ton of excursion. And that's why I think in bass quality these would be better than Bowers and Wilkins and Klipsch or whatever you want to compare them to. Although there are speakers that are better, like for instance Definitive Technology speakers, like their tower speakers with the built-in subwoofers. The subwoofer also utilizes the passive radiator design, so you get a lot better bass than you'd get from these, but those are like $1,000 more in cost than these are, so I do highly recommend these, and I will do a sound test for you. Okay, so I'm going to play Bass I Love You. This song is absolutely terrible, but it's not like you guys are going to be able to hear the actual sound quality of these things, so I'll just give you some slight woofer porn. I know I made a woofer porn video about it, if you want to check it out right here. And, yeah, I'm not a fan of woofer porn, but other people like it, so I thought I'd post one. So, here we go. Trying. Alright, so let me pull my earplugs out, because I don't listen to music that loud. So yeah, they're pretty, they can hit some pretty low frequencies, I will say. Like, very low. I like how low they can go. Can they go down low? All the way to the flow. But, yeah, this receiver is restricting them because of the way the crossover set up. Digital crossover bull. But even with the restricted frequency, these can still hit low sounds. Like, I had this, since I set this up, I set it up for multi-stereo, but for some reason it keeps going back to 2 channels, so it's only these going. That, and the subwoofer aren't going in that setup, and I didn't even notice until, like, there was one day when I'm like, well, that's a lower frequency that I was able to hear before. Like, I mean, it was a month before I noticed that my woofer wasn't even working, so these are pretty good. It's all working now, because I have it set up to the right, what do you call it? Anyways, it's multi-stereo right now instead of surround sound, because if all the speakers are going to be up here, I want them all working. I don't want these producing rear sound when they're not back here, so might as well just have it all, you know, hit me in the face all at once. So it's multi-stereo now. Disappointing, but still, these are great speakers. Highly recommend them, and they cost me like just under $300. You know, this is why I'm still recording with my phone, because I buy like this and that, and you know, my other too. So I found a camera and I'm thinking about getting one. Probably not going to happen though. So see you guys later. Bye.